20-minute Vinyasa flow. Sit in easy pose on your mat. Ground down through your sit bones. Sit up nice and tall, shoulders back and down. We're going to focus on our breath here. We're going to take about 4 to 5 breaths. So go ahead and do this at your own pace. We're going to inhale and exhale and continue to do that for a few more breaths. Really focusing on your breath. Inhale to lift your shoulders up and roll them back. Exhale as they come down. Inhale, roll them up and back. Inhale, up, shoulders drop back and exhale. Inhale, shoulders go up, exhale, down. Inhale, up, exhale, down. And then rotate them the other way. So we're going to come up to the front and back down. Inhale, up, exhale, down. Inhale, up, exhale, down. Inhale, up, exhale, down. And then relax your shoulders. You can shake them out a bit if you need to. Now we're going to do some head rolls. So start at one shoulder and roll down to your chest and back to the other shoulder. Roll it down along your chest, back to the other shoulder. One more time, down to the side. Hold your head to the side here and walk your arm out on your mat. This is going to give you a nice shoulder stretch. Come back up to center. Tilt your head the other side and walk your arm out onto the mat. And then come back up to center. We're going to come into a side bend here. So put your forearm down to the mat and lift your right hand up and over. And try to rotate up to the sky. Just rotate your head up. If that's too much on your forearm, you can come up to your hand. And come back to the other side. Right hand down. Left arm goes up and over. And you're going to try to gaze up to the ceiling. We're going to come up to do cat and cow. So come to tabletop pose. Wrists directly under your shoulders. Inhale as you drop your belly down. And exhale to arch your spine. Pull your lower belly into your spine and look down. Inhale. Drop your belly to the mat and look up. Exhale. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Come to balancing tabletop pose. You're going to kick your left leg back. Reach through that heel and reach your right arm forward. Really lengthen through your spine here, kicking that heel back. Bring it down to the mat. Go ahead and do the other side. Kick your leg straight back, lengthen through the heel, and reach your arm forward. Come down to the mat. Push your sit bones back to your heels for a child pose. Walk your hands out to the mat and bring your head down. If your head doesn't reach here, you can use a block or a pillow under your head. It's whatever is comfortable for you. And then take some deep breaths here. Curl your toes under on the mat as you push your hips up to the sky with a flat back. Pedal your feet out if that's comfortable. Step your feet up to your hands. You're going to inhale to a flat back and exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a flat back, exhale to forward fold. Inhale all the way up, arms come overhead. Exhale to a forward fold. Inhale, arms come down to the mat as you step back to plank. Exhale down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here. Reach your right leg high and step that leg up in between your hands. Your left foot's going to come to face the long edge of your mat, and your right foot's going to stay towards the short edge of your mat. Engage your core, arms come parallel as you bend into that front leg for a warrior two. Bring your left hand to your left leg as you reach your right hand up and over for a side bend in a reverse warrior. Inhale back up and then exhale, put your right forearm on your right thigh and reach your left hand up as you look up to the ceiling. Lean your left shoulder back to open your chest in our side angle pose. Cartwheel your hands down to the mat and take a vinyasa flow. Step back to plank, down to chaturanga, inhale to upward dog, and exhale to down dog. Take a couple breaths here before we move to our other side. Kick your left leg up and back and step your foot in between your hands. Your right foot goes to the long edge of your mat as you bend into your front knee. Arms are parallel to the ground. Really squeeze your glute in here to make sure that your knee is tracking right over your toes. Reverse warrior, right hand comes to right thigh as you reach up and over your left hand for a side bend. Bring your forearm down to your front leg as you reach your right hand up. Look up, tilt your shoulder back and open up your chest. Cartwheel your hands back down to the mat. You can take a vinyasa flow here or you can just meet us in down dog. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Walk your feet up to your hands and come into Tadasana. We're going to come into a chair pose here. Put your big toes together and sit back into your hips. Knees should be aligned right over the ankles. You can have your arms up in front of you or bring your hands to prayer. Drop your hands down to the mat. You can go back to down dog or take a vinyasa flow. Inhale to plank, exhale to chaturanga, inhale upward facing dog, and exhale downward facing dog. Step your right foot up in between your hands. Bring your left knee down to the mat for a low crescent lunge. Engage your core, push up here. You can look forward or you can look up for a slight back bend. Curl your back toes under as your hands go down to the mat and step back into a down dog. Left leg goes up in between your hands. Lower your right knee down to the mat. Engage your core as you come up. Reach your hands overhead. and sink down into your hips. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Hands go back down to your mat, and your right foot is going to step up to your left foot. Halfway lift here with a flat spine, and exhale as you fold forward. Come to stand, reach your arms up, palms together as they come down to heart center. You're going to take a big step back on your mat and face the long edge of your mat. Your toes go in towards one another. Bend slightly back and then fold forward with a flat back. Hinge from your hips. Bring your hands down to the mat. If you can't reach, it's easier to reach if your feet go wider. So you can heel toe your feet out. Take a couple of breaths here. Walk your arms out with a flat back. We're going to come into Skandasana, so you can heel toe your feet a little closer as you come into a side lunge. So bend your leg, keep your right leg straight, left leg bends, right leg bends. You can keep your hands on the floor or bring them to prayer, and make sure your bent knee is tracting right over your toes. Place your hands back to the ground and heel toe your feet in closer together. Bend your knees and come up to stand. We're going to come into a tree pose now. So stand nice and tall. Your supporting leg is going to be softened, and you're going to bring your foot either to your ankle, kind of like a kickstand, up to your calf or your inner thigh. Avoid the knee area. We don't want anything to happen to our knee joints. And if your balance is off, like mine was today, you can go ahead and find a wall to help with balance. So bring your leg up. Once you find your balance, you can bring your hands to prayer or up overhead. I was a little wobbly on this side today. We're going to come to our other side. Either kickstand your foot, bring it up to the calf or to the inner thigh, avoiding our knee. You can use a wall if you need help with your balance. Bring your hands to prayer or up overhead if you feel comfortable with that. And go ahead and release by bringing your leg out and your hands down. Sit back down onto your mat for a bound angle pose. Bring the soles of your feet together and then adjust them wherever's comfortable for you. I like to pull mine pretty close into my pelvis area. Your hands can be on your ankles, on your shins. I like to wrap mine underneath my feet because it gives me a nice shoulder opener. Make sure you're really grounding down through your sit bones evenly. Then you're going to hinge forward from your hips with a flat back. And then come back up to center. Adjust on your mat and send your legs out long. Inhale and reach your arms up long. Exhale to fold forward. You can catch a hold of your feet here. If you can't reach there, your shins, your ankles, or even your thighs will do. This is going to be a passive forward fold, so it's okay if your back rounds here. And relax into this pose. Walk your hands back in, come to a seated position. Bring your right leg up to your thigh, and then you're going to bring that over your thigh and by your hips. Hug your right leg with your left arm. Inhale and lengthen up through your spine, and exhale, put your hand behind you as you twist. So make sure you inhale and lengthen your spine. Make more room for you to exhale as you twist. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale, twist a little further. Send your right leg out long, and we're going to go to the other side. So pull in your left leg, bring it over your thigh to your hip. Hug your left leg with your right elbow, and inhale to lengthen, and exhale as you twist. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist a little further. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale to twist. We're going to release our leg back down, and then we're going to come down onto our backs. We're going to set up in a happy baby pose. So pull your legs in. The soles of your feet go up to the sky. Bring your knees down and reach and grab the outside of your feet. Pull your knees down towards your armpits. I know this pose is kind of silly, but it gives you such a good stretch. So keep pulling your knees down. You can begin to straighten and bend your legs, or you can just keep them still if that's more comfortable for you. Release your feet and then hug your knees into your chest. You can start rolling on this, will give your lower back a nice massage. A couple more times. Roll them in a circle and then go the other direction. Hug your knees into your chest, and then we're going to come to a supine twist. So you're going to bring your legs up to tabletop, knees pressing together as you drop them down slowly to the left side. Your arms are going to go out into a T shape. This twist should be coming from the mid-spine. Your shoulders should be grounded down into the mat, and you can gaze over to your right hand. Take a few deep breaths here. Come back to center, and we're going to drop our legs down to our right side. Keep your knees pressing together, and your head looks over to your left hand. Go ahead and take a few deep breaths here. Come back up to center, and we're going to come into corpse pose or savasana. Lay flat on your back. Your feet should be about mat width distance apart, and your arms to your side with your palms up. And we're just going to melt into our mat. So relax your head. You can close your eyes. Relax your body down into your mat. We're going to be here for a little while, so just try to concentrate on your breath and how your body feels right now. If your mind starts to wander, bring your focus back to your breath. You can stay here as long as you want. If you're ready to come out, start wiggling your toes and your hands to get the blood flowing. You can stretch your arms up overhead, and we're going to come onto our side very slowly. And then push yourself back up to seated. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed this class. Namaste.